Welcome to Exterro Inform. We are glad you joined this session titled From Detection to Resolution, a comprehensive guide to incident response in cloud environments. Exterro Inform is a full-day event which features 15 region-specific webinars led by industry experts. The 50-minute sessions dive into key challenges like collaborative forensics, cloud incident response, and insider threats. Now, before we go any further, here are some housekeeping rules for the webinar. Participants can submit questions anytime in the question window. If you would like to join the next webinar after this one, simply stay online and you'll be automatically directed to the next session. It's the same joining link for all webinars. Finally, the webinar will be recorded and we shall share the recording with all of you in the next few days. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to set the stage for the thought leader and speaker for this session. He is Dr. Triveni Singh, a renowned ex-IPS police officer known for his contributions in leading and solving complex criminal cybercrime cases in India. As a superintendent of police, cybercrime division, Uttar Pradesh Police, India, Dr. Triveni Singh has provided administrative and technical supervision to 18 cybercrime police stations across the state of Uttar Pradesh when he was in service. He has over 25 years of experience in law enforcement with a focus on cybersecurity, financial fraud, anti-corruption, and vigilance. He's a certified ethical hacker and a computer hacking forensic investigator. He holds a PhD in financial cybercrime management and a diploma in cyber law. He has also completed certificate courses in digital transformation, forensic accounting, and fraud investigation from reputed institutions. He's passionate about cracking cybercrime cases and enhancing the cyber resilience of the society. He's a resource person and has been a keynote speaker on fraud risk management and cybercrime prevention for various events organized by top academic institutions and many national and international law enforcement agencies. I am Andrew Rabindra, Director of Sales for the APAC region at Exterro. I am part of Exterro's international sales team that augments Exterro's strong market presence in global markets. Now, Exterro's digital forensic software is a solution of choice for leading law enforcement and private sector organizations across the globe. Organizations can leverage the Exterro's forensic toolkit, also known as the FTK software suite, for any type of digital investigation, including CSAM cases, narcotics, fraud cases, as well as for internal investigations, which include cyber intrusions and other post-incident analysis as well. No matter the type of forensic investigation, there is an FTK tool designed specifically for your investigation workflow, all with the industry's fastest processing engine for repeatable, defensible, and forensically sound collaboration and analysis. Without further delay, I shall now hand over the stage to Dr. Triveni Singh. Over to you, Professor Singh.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I will start with a few cases which I investigated when I was superintendent of police cybercrime. So and then definitely over the interaction, I will brief about what are the legislative framework nowadays and what are the challenges in cyber forensic, and what challenges we face during investigation. Once there was an attack on Uttar Pradesh transport server, from where the reservation for the tickets were being done. There was a ransomware attack. Everything was encrypted, and nothing was operational. Even the last 6 months data of reservation that was wiped out. When we went to the crime scene, just imagine a computerized a crime scene in a computerized environment where server is there, network is there are so many endpoint devices, computer, storage, all is there. And if we're reaching there without appropriate tools and technology to acquire the data, to do the analysis, or even on the crime scene to do the triage, once you reach there, it becomes very difficult for the police or for any law enforcement agency to investigate, because the entire environment is so complex that if you do not understand technology tools, you don't have appropriate tools, and expertise as well, then you cannot do anything. You feel yourself helpless. So what happened there? When I went there, nobody was aware about what in fact this attack is. In a ransomware attack, what happens? Everything is disabled. Even your keyboard is not working. Those not working. Every file is encrypted, and there is a mail, and in mail written that this is the wallet address. You pay the money in Bitcoin. Then we are going to give you the decryption key, and thereafter you can decrypt your data, and everything will be okay. The problem is that nobody had, in police department at least, nobody had any idea about what kind of this mail is. There are so many challenges. Number one, how to identify which kind of malware, which kind of ransomware is there, because only then you can search for their decryption key. Unless and until you don't have any idea, you cannot do anything. Then second thing is that the server was located somewhere else in Mumbai, and then the backup server was there in the Noida. So what they had done, the problem arose how to acquire the data from the server, because everything was encrypted. And what the criminal had done, they had encrypted the data of the main server as well, and they had encrypted the data of the backup server also. So nothing was operational. You could not move ahead. You couldn't do anything, because once I sent a team to Noida, where server is located, backup server, they told me that it's encrypted. When they went to Mumbai, there they told that it's encrypted. So now from endpoint, from your computing device, from your computer, from wherever you were operating the system, everything was disabled, everything was encrypted. So what to do in that case? This was the biggest challenge before the police. And there comes the role of forensic professional. What traditionally, when we think about forensic, we think in terms of mobile forensic, disk forensic, damaged media forensic. Then we talk about network forensic. Then we talk about synthetic video and audio forensic, and then SIM forensic. We think in standalone, in silos we think. So somebody is going to the police, they sell mobile forensic. Somebody is coming, sir, I am talking about the disk forensic. Sir, can you purchase this? This is a defect detection tool. The problem is that once police reach a crime scene, what happens? There we need all these tools, not only mobile, because there will be some mobile, there will be some desktop, there will be some iPad, there will be network, the logs on server, then logs metadata related on storage device. So this becomes so complex. And now with the introduction of AI, AI is playing big role in each and every field, similarly, especially in technology. So technology is getting more and more complex. And that's why the role of cyber forensic professionals is getting more and more important and knowledge intensive. And not knowledge intensive, but hands-on practice. Unless and until they have the hands-on practice, they cannot decipher any meaningful information from there. They cannot acquire the artifacts, which is evidence for the prosecution in the court. Unless and until you are extracting the artifacts, you cannot build your case and you cannot fight in the court. That's why the role of cyber forensic becomes utmost important. The most important thing today is cyber forensic. In any case, be it CSAM case, be it drug, narcotics, whatever you're doing, because each and every evidence is in electronic format, number one. Number two, because you have to connect the criminals with metadata, which you find from from the evidences. You're mining the evidences and then try to connect the criminal with the evidence which is there. Some evidence on hosting service provider, some is there on the on your server, some is on the endpoint devices. Some of the evidences on the mobile phone of the accused, some of the evidences on the blockchain forensic, like suppose they had done some transaction in Bitcoin and all that. So just think a scenario, a simple ransomware attacks, not simple, it's very complex. But you think about scenario where the data are, because for the police, how to connect with the criminals, number one, how to collect the evidence, how to do the analysis, and then in a certain format we need to put it in court, because there will be a defense counsel there. They will be debating the integrity of the data, the integrity of the tools, whether the tools are validated or not, what kind of technology talk you are doing, Mr. SP, in the court. So these tools are validated, your data is validated, have you created the hash, do you have any a tool right now to show whether the same hash value was there when it was seized. So then there comes the role of preservation of evidence. So if we're doing the forensic, number one step is identification, from which device I have to acquire the data. Then the second thing is how to acquire the data. Do we have appropriate tools and technology to acquire the data, to create the image, to create the clone, to create the image in a logical format or in a physical format, So now, then the expertise to do the analysis. First thing, identification. The police, they don't have any idea how to identify where my data will be, because data may be in some browser, data may be in operating system, data may be somewhere outside India on server, data may be in our network, data may be in metadata, evidences may be in a metadata format, some IP addresses, time logs, zone. Now the role of cyber forensic is getting more and more complex, because it's a multi-tenant cloud environment. What is topic? So challenges in DFIR in cloud environment. So what is the architecture today? What is the architecture of cloud? It's number one, multi-geographical. Number two, multi-tenants. There are so many tenants, they have their application hosted on the same cloud. So if we're going to do the forensic, then how to extract data without compromising the credential of other tenants, without tampering with the evidences or the data of other tenants? It's again a legal question. Then you are sitting in a lockdown, the server is there in USA, one server, backup server, that is there in Australia or Ghana, in Africa. Then do you have the capability to extract data, to acquire data remotely? Number two, if you cannot acquire the data, and do you have the bandwidth? Nowadays, you can imagine data center, terabytes of data are there, Out of those terabytes of data, the evidence which you are interested is 1 terabyte or MB and KB, maybe. But the problem is that the entire the enterprise, data structure is something so complex that how to extract the data from there without compromising the confidentiality, without compromising the the legality involved. Because if you are investigating Mr. Triveni Singh, you cannot investigate Andrian, you cannot investigate, and all of them are there on that cloud, So number one, multi-tenant cloud, that is the biggest challenge. Then the geography, then the cloud architecture itself, different cloud architecture. Do your tool support different architecture, cloud architecture? Because then there will be need of forensic tool which can support each and every format. No. Can your forensic imaging tool can support all non-standard chips, all non-standard server? Then there is partition in server, So management software is different, log management software is different, deployment software is, application is different, storage, everything is, So do you have the capability to segment and only acquire those data which is of your interest? So now the police are for forensic professional or for industry, we are into creating such cyber forensic tool. Challenges before all: users, law enforcement agency, judiciary, those who are into creating such forensic tools for triage or for imaging or for doing the analysis or for creating the report and producing in the court. It's putting challenge before each and everyone.
Yeah, that's
And
very true, Dr. Shriveni. And with related to what you just spoke, there is a question on chat which basically, I think it's Aroma Gupta who's wanting to know, can FTK be used for cloud environments? And the answer is yes. FTK can be used for both on-prem and cloud environments. And we have different versions of the software. And we have an FTK Connect software, which can, which is actually a connector software, and we also have an FTK Central version, which is a cloud-based, software, and we also have on-prem solutions to handle investigations. So back to you, Dr. Triveni Singh.
yeah, so now again there is a problem, because suppose you are investigating some crime and that is there on some computer or mobile phone. The problem is that of encryption, the password protected. The password protected devices, what to do? Unless and until you are breaking those password, how can you acquire the data? How can you create an image? So not one in itself, not tool is not sufficient. Along with the tool, you need to have some password breaking, because each and everyone who is having mobile phone, they always keep it in password protected mode. And even those who are working on the desktop, they have their password protected. The problem again is password. Then again, if you are breaking the password, the file is encrypted, and different algorithm is used. So do we have such capability, number one, to break the system? Number two, to break the password which is there on the file or on the disk? These are the challenges, because I have
Dr. Triveni Singh, I think we've lost you.
these are the problems.
Oh, yeah.
Hardly 42 countries we have the treaty to share information in real time, not in real time, There is certain legal procedure you can follow to get the data from there.
Mm-hmm.
But out of 193 countries, the criminals know where to host their data, because we do have treaty only with 42 and 45 countries. Why not have, except these 45 countries, we should host our data, each and everything. That's why when we are talking about how to do the forensic of Discord server, how to do forensic in case of somebody has sent the mail in Proton, because you don't have access to Proton server, Proton mail
Correct.
servers. You don't have access to a Discord server. Even you don't have access to Telegram. Telegram has become virtually a adda. It's a major medium to commit the crime for all the criminals, be it the hackers or the pornographers, or the drug and weapon sellers. It has become a adda. Then how to do the forensic of a Telegram server, where it's located? Are they are going to give you access? Number one, if they are going to give you the access, can you do the forensic remotely, sitting here in India? Can you do the forensic? Can you extract the data of your interest? These are the challenges is not only about yeah, this, again the next challenge is,
And
yeah.
I think that's the evolving landscape that we see in the cloud environments. The threats are ever evolving, and yeah, truly, it is a changing landscape. And there are so many factors that are involved that you just discussed, and mitigation and investigating crimes in cloud-related environments are complex. Especially, you mentioned ransomware, insider threats, and also account compromises, which happens in organizations. You mentioned even the laptop and the keyboards get locked. That's very interesting. And how else do you think is the landscape changing and evolving when it comes to uh, investigating digital crime?
Yeah, now the police is fatigued. And, right now, each and every day when you are going through newspaper, you find somebody has been compromised by cloning the voice. Somebody has been compromised, and cheated by deepfake videos,
Hmm.
deepfake photographs, and it's daily happening, So now they are cloning your voice, they are cloning your identity, they are cloning your video, they are cloning your documents. Everything is being cloned, and that will look as good, as genuine as a deepfake one, Then the problem is how to do the forensic of deepfake. Do we have any tool really to identify the authenticity of this kind of deepfake material, synthetic material, in real time? And not in real time. If I'm sending this sample to the lab, do we have really the AI enabled tool to identify whether this one is a deepfake or not? There's so many crime is happening by using AI technology like deepfake, So these are the challenges. So my question, I mean, from Exterro itself, are you people are working on this? How to identify deepfake? Uh,
Yes, absolutely. Because FTK, the Forensic Toolkit software that is the industry standard for forensic investigations for many organizations, uh, takes care of end-to-end cycle when it comes to forensic investigation, except for the fact, when you have to actually present those details in court. But right from, kind of getting an image from the hard disk using our imager tool to analysis and then collections and and actually doing the analysis, the product takes care of it all. And there is another question, I think, by Chidi Omborome, and the question is, encrypted backup server. Yes, the we have a security first architecture, and our backup servers are encrypted. Yes, we do encrypt data in transit and at rest, and we are also SOC compliant product. So I hope that answers the question. So yeah, so that's thank you so much for sharing about the evolving threat landscape in the cloud. And I think we have a poll question coming up. Uh, do you Smita, are you able to at the back end? Oh, yeah. So here's a poll question. Participants, I would request you to take a moment to answer this question. This would help us present relevant content and also understand, your requirements. And the question is, what do you think is the most critical phase in incident response for cloud environments? There are five options here. Option A, detection. Option B, containment. Option C, eradication. Option D, recovery. And option E, lessons learned. Uh, so please go ahead and choose the option that you think is the most critical phase in incident response. Let's give it a few seconds here. Okay, so moving on. The incident response life cycle in the cloud is again something interesting, and we just uh, saw that in the poll question as well, which was also part of the critical phases that we discussed. So I back to you, Dr. Triveni Singh.
Yeah, good.
How do you think this has impacted, in a practical sense, in the cyber investigations that you have carried out?
Yeah. So unless and until we know how the criminals are committing the crime, so that's why I'm telling the criminals are committing the crime in such a way, that they are purchasing a domain number one from India. They are getting a beautiful website created, and then they put in some strict privacy countermeasures. You cannot know their the ownership detail, number one. And then by knowing, that which country is not supporting India, they are hosting their entire data there. And then, you know the criminals, they are creating their entire criminal infra in such a way that they are putting, VPN, they are using mask IPs and proxy IP chain, and they are demanding all the money in crypto. So now the next question is, in ransomware attack, they demand money in Bitcoin. So do we have the capability to do the Bitcoin forensic or blockchain forensic? Is it integrated in our application, which we carry at the crime scene? Number one, do we have this capability to do the forensic in our lab? The problem is that of, because of anonymity. I have seen many more cases. I have investigated many more cases in which the money were sent by Bitcoin, and we could not locate. We could not identify the ultimate beneficiary of the Bitcoin addresses. As I know, as on today, know that no law enforcement agency in world, I'm not talking about India, all over world, they don't have capability to track private Bitcoin wallet addresses, because you can create your own wallet and you can do peer-to-peer transaction. It's because it's not routing through some crypto exchange. So you don't have any evidence and perfect anonymity. So what criminal are doing, whether they are operating from the dark web or otherwise, they are demanding money in Bitcoin. Once you have given the money in Bitcoin, you cannot do the forensic. Forensic becomes major challenge. Of course, you can connect with dots like some metadata is coming, but ultimate benefits, tracking out ultimate beneficiary, it's becoming very, very difficult. So this is the scenario. So blockchain forensic is another challenge for the police or for the law enforcement agency. Now I'm imagining your forensic scenario post quantum. So now with the introduction of quantum computing and quantum, encryption, what to do? Then today's algorithm will be meaningless. Then today keys and algorithm, it will be all of no use, because a different ball game will be altogether. So what to do? Are we prepared to do the forensic in post quantum environment? This is going to be another challenge. Like what I do, what I told you earlier, with the introduction of AI, it's a large language model, and so how to do the forensic of if your AI has hallucinated, or is it a real result? Is there any bias? Is there any some kind of some biases is there in the data or in the output? Because recently we are introducing AI into forensic, because AI is being integrated everywhere in each every be it education, research, health, finance, policing, criminals, they are using AI on big scale. Then definitely there will be question of AI forensic. So do we have the capability to do the forensic of AI enabled crime? This is again a challenge. We are doing a lot. I hope Exterro will be doing a lot in that direction. How to do forensic in such an environment where AI is being used. Entire platform is being created by AI. Yesterday
Absolutely.
only, huh? Yesterday only I
Absolutely,
was
yes.
going through an article. Uh, the AI bot is being used to create malware. Do you have the capability that this malware has been coded by some coder, or it has been created by some bot, some AI agent? So now
Mhm.
everybody is doing research in agentic AI. And now with the introduction of agentic AI, we will have to expand our thought process how to do the forensic of that agent. Because then AI, the agent will be autonomous. The agent will have its own thought process. The agent will have its own decision based on whatever data is there. So where is the role of man? So are you creating such a forensic tool which can do the forensic of agentic AI? This is another challenge. Am I right?
Absolutely. That's very true. That's very true, Dr. Singh, because the incident response landscape is also complex and it's evolving. And I mean, your thoughts were really provoking. And as part of as Extero, our products are constantly evolving. We have a strong roadmap. And as you see in this slide, we understand from what you just said, it's not just about detection, but what's more important is lessons learned, reviewing and improving the process to be able to contain and eradicate crime and also to recover. As you said today, it's so complex. Criminals require Bitcoin transactions, and you said that once you make a Bitcoin transactions, it's absolutely difficult to trace and bring a resolution or get the case to a close. So that's true. So yeah. So what then do you think are the we did talk about the life cycle. So you also did mention about some of the challenges, but can you talk about some of the the legal and compliance issues? You did touch about some of the technical challenges and also the operational challenges already. But what are some of the legal and compliance issues that you have seen? With
Yeah.
these complex investigations.
Yeah. So in India, we have Information Technology Act 2008, that is
Hmm.
comprehensive cybercrime specific IT Act in India. It was introduced in 2001. Okay, number one, IT Act. Then second legal framework, which is coming into existence very soon, and it was passed in 2023, DPDP Act, Digital Personal Data Protection Act. Now the rules has come, the draft has come, the debate is going on. They are asking the feedback. Once this DPDP Act comes into force, when the Data Protection Board comes into existence, there is penalty provision up to 250 crore rupees, because you will have to secure or personally identifiable information, be it my mobile number, account number, my habits, my device ID, my mail ID, my native place. anything that can identify my identity, that will be personal data. So how to secure, number one, and in case of some dispute, how to do the forensic, and how to prove it in the code that yes, this PI was leaked from certain company, and I have proved it. So then there is the role of forensic. So I think that the role of cyber forensic professionals are going to increase so much. There will be huge demand for the cyber forensic professional. Cyber forensic tool, along with the knowledge of cyber security, along with the knowledge of cyber security is everything. Cyber security, if you read the legal definition of cybersecurity, that is legally defined in my act, in Information Technology Act 2008. This is legally defined. What is cyber? So what is cyber? Cyber is your computing device, your communication device, your network device. All this network, I mean, router, switch, everything. Your internet. This entire internet infrastructure, like internet service provider, all that. So from endpoint to network to cloud server to your communication protocol to your communication device, everything is included in cyber. If there is an attack on cyber, then there will be the role for the cyber forensic professional. Then there will be the need of cyber forensic tool to extract data, to do the analysis, to backdate the criminals, to connect the criminals with the data. Because ultimately the goal for the police is to identify the criminal, put him behind the bar and prosecute. Then the next challenge is going to be in court. When we're fighting the case in the court, with the introduction of DPDP Act, there is going to be huge, lots of cases related with data breach and this malware attack and this cyber crime and cyber attack happening all over, because somebody is complaining about leakage of his personal information, somebody is talking about sensitive personal data leakage and all that. So be it the corporate or the government or even individual, every is going to be impacted with the introduction of DPDP Act. This is the legal framework that is being going to be introduced very soon. The act has come, the rule draft has come, now it's going to be notified. Now the data protection board is being constituted, and then start. So when you asked me about what is the legal scenario, then earlier we had Information Technology Act 2021. There we had the provision of sensitive data leakage, and there was a provision for penalty up to 5 crore in those. Now this penalty in DPDP Act has gone to 250 crore. So when some corporate or some organization had to pay up to 250 crore, then can you think a scenario where a data was leaked from a startup company, with the entire basis just 10,000 rupees, started something with 10,000 rupees, data leaked, and then huge penalties there. There are lots of companies going to be wiped out, because compliance with this IT Act, number one, this DPDP Act, number two, will be huge. It's a very capital intensive compliance. It's my opinion, because I visualize from a police officer, because I know a little bit about technology also. I know the implementation part for a MSME or for a startup company or for some who has started bootstrap, something. Then what will happen if somebody is going to data protection board and claiming file for 250 crore or 200 crore, something like that? What will happen? So then there is the role of cyber forensic, because ultimately we will have to prove that this data is leaked from that company server or from that company devices or their end terminal. So ultimately we will have to, there is the role of forensic. Are we ready to do the forensic on such a scale? Do we have the capability, number one, tools along with those features? Number two, then the analysis capability. And because, for example, suppose you created a forensic image, that only image, creating an image is not sufficient in itself. Then we need to focus on capability building, capacity building. We need huge capital investment in training, because ultimately what count is human, because they have to do the analysis, job work they have to do. Computer cannot do each and everything, no forensic tool in itself is in automated mode, that acquiring the data, doing the analysis, creating the report, then sending to the courts. No computer can do it. There must be some human intervention, human support. Since are we training our people, our human resource in this domain? And this domain is so complex that a forensic practitioners, he must be not master of any domain, but he has to be jack of all trades. He should know the basics of networking, he should know the basic of computers, then programming, then software, then hardware, and then the forensic as well, and then analytical capability as well, and then how to, and they have to a basic understanding of the policing as well, legal as well, because he may override the legal boundary, because when I was investigating a case of ransomware attack, there was a ransomware attack. It's a criminal case, and Big Four company came and did they tampered with lots of data, because the man who came on the scene, he didn't have any idea of legal implication. He did not have any idea of legal implication. He told me, sir, I don't know, this is a crime. Somebody called me, I came here and started doing the forensic. So because he doesn't know the criminal implication of overriding, legal boundary by going on the crime scene. On a crime scene, you cannot go, without informing the police, without help of the police, forensic professional, legally, authorized to go on the scene. You cannot go. So these are another challenge, Okay, what happens in corporate sector, if there is some data breach or some ransomware attack, they call some Big Four people. And they don't know that they are becoming the part of the crime scene, because they are tampering with the data, they are manipulating the data as such, It's a crime. First, it must be reported to the police, number one. There should be a FIR. And then investigations should start. Otherwise, what will happen? Big Four people, they will come, they will tamper with the data, delete the data, they will play the data in their own way, and So
That's very
these
true.
again,
That's very true. And I think Exterro is well positioned as a company that organizations can use to manage interrelated data risks. And as Dr. Triveni Singh just mentioned, it's a complex environment. Cybercrime, what you might start something as a forensic investigation, but that may lead to e-discovery. Eventually, that may lead to a legal hold or a litigation where you may have to present evidence in case. It may involve security. It may require privacy and consent and preferences, as Dr. Triveni Singh also touched upon. So, Exterro is well positioned to handle interrelated data risks spanning across forensics, e-discovery, privacy, data governance, and security, incident response, and posture management. And I think what Dr. Triveni Singh shared is very relevant to what's happening today with cybercrime and globally and across different regions, especially in cloud environments. So the next point or aspect that we want to talk about is best practices for each of these phases that we see, which is in a digital forensic scenario where you start with detection, containment, eradication, recovery, and lessons learned. So, what do you think are some of the practical best cases, sir, to handle this cycle?
yeah. So let me again go to the real case. When I was investigating the case of ransomware attack, then I found that it was a attack in another case. There was an attack on a bank server, bank terminals, and 146 crore rupees were transferred by the criminal from the bank accounts to their own accounts. The criminal transferred 146 crore. You know,
Wow.
I reached the crime scene. I did the forensic. What is the problem? Problem is that now you are talking about the detection. So how to do the detection? How to create a detection mechanism in banking environment? We are creating SOC, Security Operations Center, and we are enforcing all perimeter detection tools and IDS, IPS, firewall, everything, even CM, security incident, tool. Then and everything was there, CM was there, IDS, firewall, and IDS, IPS, everything was. It's a complete SOC. Then you have written here detection. So how to get, once as a forensic professional, because I am a police officer, I have to do the forensic. So I have to get data from their CM, number one, Security Incident Information System, I mean CM, and then I have to extract data from their firewall and their IPS, all was there. I have to collect data from it. So do we have this capability, forensic capability, to extract data from IDS, IPS, to read the logics defined in firewall and whatever alerts and red flags coming into CM? So do we have the capability to extract data in a native format so as not to tamper the data? I think forensic capability is still maturing, still evolving. It's my personal feeling. So what will happen to those cases in court if some defense lawyer is strong enough in technology, so definitely you can win the case, because you cannot argue. If somebody is asking the question, what tools did you use to get this data? And that's because because there is not a lab setup, there is not in lab environment. You are going actually on the crime scene, and we are finding all this system and SOC and database server, everything is there. You have to do the forensic. So if we're going along with a lab in back, so what can you do there? What can you do there? So do we have the capability to, again, my question is remote capability to remote forensic?
Oh
Uh,
yes,
uh,
absolutely. And technology is, evolving, I guess. And today with Exterro, we just don't do dead box forensics, but we also do Mac collections and other, mobile collections, which was not available as a technology a few years back. So technology is evolving, and what you're saying is very, very true. As an investigator, you need these tools to be able to perform a sound forensic investigation. Very true. Yes, you're right.
Now, the second is containment. It's not our duty. Forensic professionals, they are not there to contain, the crime which is happening. So containment is not the part of forensic professional. That may be the part of DFIR team at the corporate level or at the government, but that is not the role to be played by forensic professional, because we are talking from the forensic and police angle. Eradication, again, this is not the duty of police or forensic professional, at least in criminal cases. Otherwise, this may be the task of DFIR team, which is there in the corporate or in the government sector, because as a first responder they are going, so they have to contain, number one, the infection. They have to contain their strategy to save their digital assets on all that. They have to eradicate the virus and whatever infection is there. It's entirely different part, which I am not going to look into. Then the lesson learns. The lesson learns, what I have learned, the lesson during my investigating career. So I found that where we lack, we have money, we establish good cyber lab, but we don't have money to invest in capacity building. We don't focus on training. My personal opinion is that we need to focus more and more on capacity building and less on technology part. Because unless and until you have the expertise and capability to use the forensic tool, what will the use of that tool? What will be the use of that? So if we are investing 100 crore rupees in creating a state of the art cyber forensic lab, and we are creating few lakhs in training, and once you train someone, after 3 4 months he is transferred from there to another. It's not such a domain where training can be important in 2 3 days, and just you give him the task and he can manage the entire your cyber forensic lab. It's happening. This is the ground reality. This is the ground reality. So he always advise EU people, I mean those who are forensic OEM, that they should make training for 6 months, 3 months at least, the integral part of the project. Once you are selling your Exterro Central or your Exterro complete suite, you should make the training the integral part of your project only. So you train them, it will take at least 3 months, because you have to teach them about basics of networking, hardware, software, then how to acquire, then how to do it. And this cannot be done in 5 7 days. What vendors, what OEMs are doing? They are giving just anyone. He has done his graduation in humanities, and you are trying to give him to train him in 3 days and sending them to, oh, you go to this lab and do the forensic. Is it possible?
So that's
So he
that's
always
a very important question, and we do at Exterro offer certifications and learning tracks and learning paths through our Exterro Academy for forensic professionals to be competent and confident with the tools, Exterro tools that they are using. And what you pointed out about training is very true. Organizations need to allocate a budget and also be ensured that their forensic professionals are trained to an extent that they would be able to use the tools successfully to bring an investigation to a close. So that's really amazing. And what do you think? Can you share some of the best practices? I'm sorry, some real world case studies. You did talk about banking frauds, use of cryptocurrency. Can you talk about some of the cases where there was a fraudulent online personas, doing crazy stuff with company data, and also, scams that we see when it comes to phishing and other email related frauds?
so let me go back to the case in which 146 crore rupees had siphoned away from bank to
Hmm.
criminals. They had taken away. So what they had done, they had installed their own laptop with a remote access tool installed on the laptop. Number one, in their own intra network. So by physical intrusion, they had compromised the guard. They had gone there. They had attached their own laptop along with remote access tool in the same intra-network part. Number one. Number
Hmm.
two, they had installed two keylogger and two different systems to know the maker and checker credential. So now you see the criminals, how smart, how technically intelligent they are. They know what is the operation, how they can hack the credentials by installing the keylogger on two different systems. And because they knew it technically, they were well aware that to be the part of banking infra, we had to compromise a whitelisted IP. So they had compromise of farmer banker. They have taken the IP of the bank itself. Now by having the knowledge of the IP, then the remote access tool, then the keylogger. Now again, now think about forensic. Do we have the capability to do the forensic of keylogger, remote access tool? Then it's a kind of Trojan. So we need the expertise of malware experts and all that.
Hmm.
So malware. So and it's all a matter of forensic and nothing else. So again, we face lots of challenges. How to do the forensic of keylogger, how to do the forensic of remote access tool, and all that. So this is scenario. Can I suggest one thing? I don't know. Maybe your team will be working on that.
Hmm.
Vertical AI agent is specifically for forensic domain. Can we create such a AI, you know, agentic AI to do the entire forensic things in an automated way? Can we
Well,
develop?
I think that's that's food for thought, and definitely I shall pass this on to our product teams. We do have a strong roadmap, and a lot of AI, uh, you know, enable components are being integrated into our products, especially when it comes to automation, to ensure that the entire workflow makes sense and it's repeatable and scalable. So, but what you've just raised is an important, so very interesting and an important aspect, and I will definitely pass it on to our product team. So, we have 5 more minutes left in the webinar. So, quickly, what do you think is the future of cloud incident response, in your opinion, sir?
As a DFIR professional, it's going to be big challenge for for the police or those people who are involved into DFIR activities. As a first responder, it's going to be big challenge unless until they have proper tools, they have proper equipments to do the forensic in real time. It will be challenge. It's and the police is facing this challenge. All law enforcement agency all over world, they are facing this challenge. Because the environment is getting more and more complex. We are in reactive mode. Our forensic is not being updated in real time along with the introduction of newer technology. So I suggest you people to be proactive in designing the products to do, because the cyber criminals, they are far ahead. They are always 2 3 step ahead than a law enforcement agency. And when the law enforcement agencies share their own problem statement, these are the challenges being faced by the police, and then you start researching. I mean, forensic is lagging behind the criminals.
Yeah,
It's my
I
personal
agree.
feeling.
Today,
So
criminals
I
are very
always
smart, and they're able to kind of be on top of the game, which is why I think we have an entire industry that's behind digital cybercrime today, and there's so much happening there, and criminals are getting smarter and smarter. And I think this was an exciting session, and any kind of I think the future is going to be uh, evolving. We are going to see more and more complex crimes emerging, and we are also going to see technology that's going to match up with these cyber crimes and eventually, kind of keep pace with, and reduce crime. Especially digital crime, and keep our societies safe. So we almost have come to the end of the webinar session. Uh, any questions, Q&A, 1 minute before we wind up? Any questions that you participants would like to raise?
no question. Thank you.
No questions. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Triveni Singh, for taking your time to attend and be a thought leader in this session. This was very interesting. I'm sure that this must have been a useful session for the participants as well, to hear from you and get your thoughts. And so we come to the end of this session. And thank you for attending this webinar. But we do have another session coming up today. The next webinar is titled Insider Threat and Data Infiltration, Digital Forensics Techniques to Detect and Mitigate. I would encourage participants to stay and attend the next webinar as well. And you wouldn't have to uh, sign out and log back in. It's the same link. Just stay on the line and you will be redirected. And so, yeah, so please also note that we have 6 additional webinars in English, uh, from the US, coming up later on today. If you would want to join those, just use the same joining link as I mentioned before, the same link that you used for this webinar. So Thank you so much. See you in the next one.